Yeah, long songs. I know most of you have probably heard about that one piece by Bowl of Heaven, 310 moon runes that I don't understand. But aside from that, I'm here today to share with you my top 10 long songs. Oh, is it all going to be progressive rock? Most of you found out from that one anime that has a guys that do those weird poses. Nah, not really. I mean, if I wanted to, I could fill this whole review with prog rock, but knowing prog rock has a tendency to make long songs, which are too much for normies. Anyhow, let's get this long, not really, review started.
Don't let him into his zone. Don't let him into his zone. You just let him into his music nerd zone.
Hello everyone, this is your Starborn Punk, the biggest music nerd VTuber, MB, and here we are today with a new episode of Don't Let Me Into My Zone music review series, looking over my top 10 long songs. This one was actually quite hard to do, not because of how this list could have been compiled with progressive rock, even though I could have gotten the JoJo's fans' attention with this review if I put up Roundabout in the stream. But because I had to come up with a time limit of what counts as a long song for me. Yes, I know to what Normans, that anything longer than 3 minutes counts as a long song, but to me, I also said there were too many songs in the 7-minute range, so I had to create a different range. Rest in peace to all those base 7-minute songs. So what I went with was 8 minutes. It was still kind of hard for me to compile long songs within the 8-minute range and beyond, but you know what? I managed to do it in the end. And to show off what I managed to compile, let us start off with long song number 10. Here's number 10, The Valley by Leprous. This right here is a song reflecting its name because it sure is a journey through the valley while listening to it. But Leprous is a prog rock metal group from Norway with probably one of my favorite vocalists, Einar Solberg, sorry for butchering your name. His vocal range and talent really shows off with this song, where there's just one part where you go, ah, and then the band shows off their talent, making this long piece engaging. It's just really cool to see this whole album culminate with this song, which is something unique for prog metal, knowing that most people will know about bands like Dream Theater, which I didn't put in this list. But aside from that, now it is time for us to move on to song number 9. Yeah, I know Laughing Stock does have a lot of long songs in there that would probably warrant the spot in number 9, especially after the flood. It has a version here and the outtake one, which is really cool. But number 9 had to go to Newgrass. There's just something really spiritual and peaceful about the song, with the starting notes from the guitars and drums just being a really beautiful soft intro, moving on to the eventual lyrics. Reflected in returning love, you sing Heaven Waits, sung by Mark Hollis' peaceful, serene voice. It is said that Laughing Stock is probably one of the most spiritual albums out there. But in all honesty, I have to say that Newgrass is a perfect example of that statement. And with that, we move on to number 8. Swans is probably what hipsters would call one of the most overrated experimental rock bands, thanks to a certain 3D music nerd. But aside from that, I will overlook what the hipsters say and what my own hipster tendency has to say to avoid anything too popular, to say that this song right here is Swans' magnum opus. The Glowing Man is a 20-minute behemoth with those ritualistic chants and Gira going, he's a real go-getter, getter, and then just shouting, now, 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 now. But an amazing long song that shows off how Swans is an amazing rock group. Gira and the whole band come together to share this title track from the album The Glowing Man, which is my favorite Swans record that already has a lot of amazing long songs, but The Glowing Man is a song that transcends this realm into something otherworldly. And with that, we move on to song number 7. Yes, if it were up to me and just being a Chad, I would fill up this whole list with Fela Kuti songs, but I had to come up with one answer for this list, and that answer was Gentleman. I be African man, original. Gentleman is my favorite Fela song because it just embodies the perfect danceable energy that his Afrobeat usually has, but with a super honest and sincere energy that an original Gentleman would have. And with that, we move on to number 6. Halo by Machine Head. Honestly, even if it isn't the top 5 for this list, it is the reason why I even decided to make this top 10 based off of long songs, so you can thank Mr. Cringe, Robert Flynn, and the rest of the band for making this amazing 9-minute groove thrash metal piece. Just a lot of amazing guitar riffs and moments all around with the chorus going, Halo! But anyways, let's move on to number 5. White Tomb blows every post-black metal album out of the water. But aside from my own personal opinions on records from that genre, As a Womb is a starting track for the amazing album White Tomb by Alter Plagues. It's probably one of the most epic pieces of music ever created. Just the guitars, the atmospheres, and the lyrics go like, "Everything is collapsing, can't you see it?" And as everything is collapsing, let's move on to number 4. And with entry number 4, every Visual K fan and every Spanish J-Rock blog site that really helped me out when being a fan of Visual K cheers hard because of the entry. And this is Art of Life by X Japan. This epic English 29-minute Visual K symphonic metal song. And you know, this is one of my favorite songs of all time. Just the one part where Yoshiki has its piano solo. It's really cool, especially the live performance version of this piece. Just proves how amazing X Japan was as a band. Like really, I love you, Hidehito Matsumoto, rest in peace, dude. But now let's move on to the top 3 songs of this review. Let's go. Yeah, we all know that this would be obvious knowing how I raved about this song in my top 10 Darren Gray albums review. But what else can I say about Vinchuca other than it's a magnum opus of an already awesome band? 9 minutes of Kyo displaying the starting of his inhuman vocals, and his already wonderful clean vocals, while the band displays their crazy skills as musicians. Well, enough of me being a fanboy. Darren Gray's awesome, watch the review. Let's move on to number 2. Yeah, no worries, that wasn't me. I don't have enough skill to pull off something as epic as that, sadly. But this is probably one of the most epic songs of all time from the equally epic titled album, Mar of the Spirit by Agalloch. This song right here is a monolith and it matches perfectly with the album art. Just look at that wonderful gray forest. Silver. I just want to feel the marrow of my spirit right there. You know what I'm saying? But aside from that, there's like really like awesome like parts through, like especially the part that I didn't do at the beginning. It was of course vocalist. But there was like many wonderful like guitar riffs parts, like and then the other part where it goes like and then all it culminates to like a really cool closing part, and then it just stops with it's the wind that came from the freaking gray forest on the album. It's like really cool. But you know what, with me fanboying over this song, let's go and move on to number 1, the number 1 top long song of all time by yours truly. Let's go. Is it fair making a live performance of a double piece my top long song of all time? Well, after hearing the drum solo Rashid Ali does in this performance that rivals those of extreme metal drummers, I would say it is. Performed in Tokyo in 1966, John Coltrane, along with his quartet, with talents such as Agalloch Coltrane, Aurora Sanders, Jimmy Garrison, and Rashid Ali, give out this spiritually amazing 44-minute performance that just shows off the talents of the musicians, but especially Rashid Ali, cause god dang, that's the first time I heard extreme metal drumming, this extreme drumming, before the long-haired metal lance made it a common thing. You know, with that, rest in peace to John, but this performance has been dubbed as the best long song of all time by the internet's biggest music nerd VTuber, MB. And with that, we close my top 10 long songs review for this episode of Don't Let Me Into My Zone. I was thinking just for the lulz that I should just do a small song review too, but then I realized that it would just be filled with grindcore and hardcore punk. I didn't mind doing that though, since it's really cool. I love those genres. But once again, thank you to everyone for watching this review of my top 10 long songs. There's just many amazing long songs out there, but these 10 behemoths are what I consider the best. So I do hope you take your time to listen to these tunes, while also considering to like, subscribe, and hit that bell on this channel if you want to support me to show proof that I am the most based music nerd VTuber. Take care and stay based.